ideological existence lies in the concept of peace. We were a country where people did not even know weapons. There were villages upon villages without weapons. Very few people in the cities owned weapons. We were a country which was drug-free. But the 1979 Soviet invasion of Afghanistan changed all that. We became part of a global effort. The Soviet Union collapsed. Global priorities changed and shifted. International focus shifted. But Pakistan was left holding the baby. And we paid the price. We paid the price of over 100,000 victims. We lost political leaders, we lost military leaders, we lost social activists, we lost women, men and children. We lost Benazir Bhutto, our former Prime Minister. Malala Yousafzai fell victim to terrorism, and the story continued. Nothing was safe. Churches were not safe, the mosques were not safe, the schools were not safe, shrines were not safe. Drug smuggling, drugs became rampant in Pakistan. The Army Public School incident, where we lost hundreds of kids, became a turning point, and there was a resolve within the country to develop a strategy to fight this menace. We suffered economically, we suffered politically, and finally we put our differences aside, our political differences aside, and the nation stood united. The National Action Plan was developed, and NACTA was entrusted to implement it. Radical actions were required. Some are visible, some are not. The Zarb-e-Azab, the Rad al-Fasad, and many other military operations are undertaken. Operations are undertaken within the cities and in our border areas, in our tribal areas. And I'm happy to say, and I say this very proudly, that we won where the rest of the world failed. On the same terrain, against the same enemy, with our own resources, with our own sacrifices, we defeated the enemy. We fought the world's war against terror. It was on our territory. The world needs to recognize that. No matter what CNN tells you or the tweets tell you, the reality is very different. And that's a story we take to the world. Pakistan is a partner in the war against terror. Pakistan is a leader in the war against terror. Show me a country which has committed 200,000 troops directly on its own territory in the war against terror. Not one. There may be power struggles, there may be other issues resulting in war in other countries, but there is not a single country fighting the war against terror, fighting the world's war against terror with its own resources. All we have gotten is sanctions, all sorts of barriers, and all it does is it degrades our effort to fight the war against terror, but it does not degrade our resolve or our will to fight the war against terror. So our army contributed, the police contributed, the other law enforcement agencies, the political parties, the people contributed, and today Pakistan is a much, much safer country, where our largest city, the governor of Sindh is here, Our largest city was continuously considered to be one of the top 10 most dangerous cities in the world. We managed to overcome that, and today Karachi only faces the normal street crime, the low-level crime that any large city in the world has. Nothing more than that. We have countered the terrorists and we have defeated the terrorists. And we continue to fight that war. We have not given up. We continue to fight that war. The economy is back on track. The CPEC was initiated, which is today the most visible part of the Belt and Road Initiative, which if anybody here went to Davos, I was also surprised. The world, the business world, the economic world views the BRI as a generational project, as a project which will change the direction of how things will move, how things will happen, how economies will prosper in the next 20 to 50 years. And Pakistan is proud to be the visible part of the BRI. It will provide us connectivity to Western China, to Central Asia, and in the move towards connecting this part of the world with Europe. So we have achieved high growth. We have achieved unparalleled development. We hope to attain sustained 6% plus growth. Pakistan today is an investment destination. In every sector, we have great interest by companies to come in, put up industry here, put up projects here. The challenges do remain. Whenever you have a high growth scenario, there are challenges. And it's our job to manage those challenges. And contrary to what my friends from the opposition feel or say, I only see the glass to be half full. And that's the way we view the economy, that's the way we view our challenges. And we stand firm in our resolve to put the economy back on track, because when the economy is back on track, when the country is prospering, when the people are prospering, that is the biggest barrier against extremism and radicalism. We have countered extremism. We continue to counter extremism. It had taken hold in society. We continue to fight radicalism. And it's not a fight for the government only. It's a fight where everybody stands united. The society stands united. And I always remind people that if you look at the polling stations, the people of Pakistan have again and again and again rejected radicalism and extremism. It has not been accepted at the polling station. So this concept that perhaps the society is radicalized, the people in some way tend to believe or tend to accept radicalism, extremism is not a correct viewpoint. Look at any polling, and you will look at the next elections in July. People do not accept extremism or radicalism. That is not an accepted political viewpoint. We took some difficult decisions. Pakistan was the only country in the world which licensed automatic weapons. It was a very difficult decision. There was a lot of opposition within and without, but we stood firm, and today we have banned private ownership of automatic weapons. We respect the right of the citizen to own arms, but automatic weapons in private hands will not be accepted anymore. The cabinet has taken the decision, the laws will be put into place, and we intend to eliminate automatic weapons in private hands. We have also countered extremism through developing a public stance on public religious stance on terrorism. And for the first time, over 1,800 ulama of all schools of thought got together and delivered a fatwa about the meaning of jihad and against this unacceptable concept of suicide bombing. This is a success which no other country has achieved. So we today stand united against terrorism. We stand for peace in Afghanistan.